Okay, so getting right back in there. So the following day, I go to the doctor, um, with everyone thinking I'm 10 weeks pregnant. So, they lay me back. Let's do an ultrasound. Let's see what's going on. Let's get you started. Prenatal pills. Whatever you need. So they do the ultrasound, and he's looking, 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 and he sees that there's a pregnancy, but there's nothing inside. There's nothing, 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 like nothing. And of course, I'm devastated. I'm like, I knew it. My body's playing a trick on me. How could this happen? Blah 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 blah. And he's like, just calm down. Um, go get your beta done. Come back in a week. Get my beta done. Um, and it doubled. So now I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just not as far along as they thought that I was. And I have PCOS, so you can't go by my last cycle. So I go back a week later, and I'm excited because I just know they have to see something since my numbers doubled. I go back, another ultrasound, sonogram, whatever you call those things. Still nothing, nothing. So he's like, maybe you had a miscarriage, or you know, he's just like, let's get you in here next week for a DNC because there's nothing in your uterus. We can see that there was a pregnancy, but there's nothing inside. So I just feel horrible. I'm devastated, but I'm trying to be strong about it, you know. So I said, well, I can't come in next week because I'm going to be in Atlanta for my birthday. And my birthday was the very following week. And he says, okay, well, we're going to set you up for the day after you get back from Atlanta. Come get your DNC, and so you can move on with your life and just put this behind you. I said, okay, cool. At this point, I'm just ready for it to be over because it's just like traumatizing, devastating, embarrassing. I'm ashamed. I'm annoyed. I'm upset. I'm angry. Every emotion that you can feel, I felt, at that time. So, um, the weirdest thing though, you would think if someone has miscarried or blighted ovum or whatever, however you pronounce it, all these things, you would think that they would they wouldn't be sick. You know, they would be okay, or the sickness would start fading away and going down. Me, no, I was getting really sick. I mean, vomiting, nauseous, couldn't do anything. I went to Atlanta. I live in California. I went all the way to Atlanta to stay in the hotel room, in the bed. I couldn't do anything. I was miserable. I was just couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything but just lay. I had no appetite. It was just bad. Whole time I was in Atlanta, I was saying to myself, I can't wait to get back to get this DNC so I can feel better and this can be over with, done with, goodbye. So, sorry for the spitting again. Um, so while I'm in Atlanta, the doctor calls me and says, we want to do one more sonogram the day of your DNC, you know, just to make sure. I said, but I really don't think that I need it. I'm just over it. I'm just tired, and I don't want to be disappointed again. They said, no, 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 let's just do it. So my mom took off work that day because she's like, I know there's a baby in there. It has to be. you're sick, you can't eat, you're vomiting, you're, you know, everything, everything, everything. So she comes with me, her and her girlfriend. We all went to the doctor to get this um ultrasound thing early in the morning because my appointment for the DNC was for 2 o'clock that afternoon. And for the DNC, you had to take like instead of like 6 pills or something like that. So um yeah, so we get there, ultrasound, and the doctor, he has the thing turned away from me, because so I wouldn't be upset. Like there's nothing there, and I'm looking. So I'm laying. He's obviously in front of me. My mom's on the side of me, but he has the screen turned towards him. And he looks. He looks again. He's looking. He like turns his head like upside down, looking. I'm like, what the hell? Like, you know. And then my mom at this point was like, what are you looking at? So she turns the screen towards her, and she's like, there's a heartbeat. There's a baby. Like, man, baby, I knew that he was in there. And so there was a baby, and he had a heartbeat, and it was. I have pictures um of it, but it was a feeling that one it was a feeling that one just can't describe. Um, you just you just can't describe it. You can't make this kind of thing up. I went there twice and there was nothing there. I had given up. I was over it. And oh, sorry, this isn't the picture. I was just over it and just done, and that's just whatever. And then to see this thing with a heartbeat inside of me was it was just like past amazing because I just never in my life thought that me, just never thought it could be me. Never thought it could be me. So I don't. Hopefully you can see this, but this is the very, very first picture that I got of baby. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Very, very first picture. And I have no idea what that is. I can't tell a head from a whatever to a whatever and a whatever. It looks odd. So he told me at that time that I was about 6 weeks pregnant. So I'm like, but how can I be 6 weeks pregnant? I've been so sick like for so much longer than that. He said, well, you just knew before your body even knew that you were pregnant. So the excitement did not last long because I started becoming very sick. Sick to the point where I was in the hospital. Sick to the point where I was losing weight rapidly. Um, couldn't eat, couldn't drink. They had to take me off work. I've been off work now since August 15th, and today is November 2nd. I couldn't do anything by myself. I had to go into the hospital to get fluids. I have the scars on um, my arms where they just kept poking me to try to get a vein. I was so dehydrated they couldn't even get a vein on even on this arm. I mean, I look like, I don't know if you can really see, but here, I look like someone that has been doing drugs. Um, I was just in and out the hospital, and they kept on saying, "It's okay, it's gonna pass." But then it got so bad to where they finally diagnosed me with hyper hyperemesis, and I had never heard of that ever in my life. And I just knew of pregnancy being this beautiful thing that you're glowing, you're happy, you're just, especially in my position, you're just elated, you're over the moon. Um, Nothing can come between that feeling. And now I think I have to go into part three. I did not think I was going to be talking this long. Let me just end this now and then go into part three.